Hi, we're going to continue your walkthrough on the inside of your trailer. To start, we're going to work our way from here around the trailer and finish her up. Inside here is your panel, all your slide switches, awning switches. This here tells you all your tank levels. So you got your fresh tank, battery level, black tanks, gray tank, gray tank. Now you will notice on here that it's got a black 2 and a gray 3, which this unit does not have, just because they do use this as a standard for a lot of trailers. So you're aware that the black 2 and the gray 3 have no function on this trailer. As I was mentioning about your water heater, it works on both gas and electric. There's one electric switch here, which is labeled electric, so you need this switch on and the switch outside that I showed you. When you want to run it on gas, you're just going to hit your gas power on. The light's going to stay on. When it's lit, that light will go off and stay off. Fortunately, we can't let it run right now because there's no water in your tank. Light switches, as I said, slide controls, and then ceiling fan switch. Here is your thermostat, which controls your air conditioner and your furnace. So when you run your air conditioner, you're going to set it over to cool. Put your slider down to whatever temperature you want. Away it goes. For the furnace, you're going to click it over to heat, slide it up to heat. The furnace is going to fire up and get you all nice and warm. When you want to turn it off, just click it over to the off button and it'll shut itself off after 2 minutes. This here is your solar controller. Basically all this does is tells you what your solar is charging at. So right now, because you got a full battery and the fact you're plugged in, it's saying it's putting no amps into it. Shows you how many kilowatts are coming through, how many volts are coming through. This is just an information display. There's not a whole lot you need to do with this. This tells you all that stuff. This here is your control panel for your Kisei inverter. Turn it off. You're going to push and hold the power button. Come on, off you go. I'll then turn the switch off outside. This here is also, turn it on, and then you can scroll through it, and it tells you how much power you're using. AC in, AC out, how many volts are at your battery, things like that. And unfortunately, it won't turn off because we are plugged in right now, and with that constant power, it's going to want to stay on because it's working off your shore power. This control here is for your max fan, which is right above your fridge. So you push the vent open it. You can change your fan speeds. When it says fan on, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the speeds. There's a fan off button, and then your vent closed. That pretty much covers here. We'll continue up this way into the bathroom. So inside here, your plug, this is where your GFCI reset is. So if you do find some of your plugs, especially ones with the white labels, aren't working, come in here and make sure this hasn't been tripped. You'll know it's tripped when this little red light is on. In order to reset it, you're going to push the reset button. As long as your trailer is plugged in, it will reset itself, or if your inverter is on, it will reset. But if it doesn't sense that 120 volt power, you will not be able to reset it. Shower, tempered glass. Big thing to remember when in transit, you want to take your latch, close it, and make sure it locks into place. If not, it might vibrate open, slide your doors around, and risk broken. Now again, it is tempered safety glass, so if it breaks, it's going to break into 1,000 not so sharp pieces. Toilet, pretty standard. When you want to flush, just going to push and let it flush. Alright, into the bedroom. So first thing, it does have a separate furnace, air conditioner just for the bedroom. It does not run your furnace. So as you can see, your controls only have a cool, a fan, and an off setting. And then off to turn it off. Light switch. Underneath your bed, A lot of storage under here. Part of your closet here. It is pre-plumbed and wired for a washer dryer if you decide to put a washer dryer in here. When you do go to winterize it, make sure you do run some fresh antifreeze through those valves every time you go to winterize, whether you use them or not. Big closet. Light switch. Now again, with these doors too, same thing with the barn door beside the bed. When you go to travel, you want to make sure you do have your pins latched into place. And there's one on this door here in the back. So it doesn't want to rattle around on you and slide back and forth while you're traveling. That pretty much covers the bedroom. Let's head downstairs into the kitchen and living area. So, dinette table, it does have a little leaf to extend your table out. Do remember when you go to bring your slides in that this is back into this position. The chairs themselves do have a little bit of storage underneath them. Recliners, nice and comfy recliners. They rock. Pull the little handle on the side here. There's a little lever you can pull. Brings it out. Watch your favorite show, you're good to go. Over to the couch here. This also does fold into a bed. You're going to pull off your cushions. You're going to grab your bed. You're going to lift. You're going to pull. Fold your legs out. Set her down. Bed. Then you can take your cushions, put them back up for a bit of a headrest. When you're ready to put it back in the couch position, you're just going to repeat the process. Lift. Close your legs. Fold it back in. And replace your cushions. TV, pretty standard TV. Your stereo and DVD player. So you just put your DVDs in here. Select the HDMI or AV port. Whatever's cooked to, you can watch your movies through here on there. You get all your sound through all your speakers. Fireplace. Now the fireplace does only work on electric, where 120 power does not work off your battery. You got power control down here. You can change your lights, the intensity, how bright it is, plus your temperature, which is up in this corner. Done with it, just hit your power button, let it turn off. One thing I like to mention is, these are not meant to heat your trailer from absolute cold. They do recommend letting your trailer get up to a little closer to room temperature before you run these. Into the kitchen, microwave. Works just like your microwave would at home, your timers, your sensors. It's also got a stand for cooking underneath, and a light. Onto your stove, your glass top, you're going to lift, flip the glass over, away it goes. It does have an igniter, so you're going to push and hold. Now once you get it lit, it's recommended to hold the knob for a couple of seconds, make sure that the flame stays on. When you're done, you just turn it off. Again, when you go to travel or when it's not in use, I recommend you close your glass. The oven also does light off the igniter. You're going to push the knob to your pilot light symbol, which is a little teardrop flame looking on the knob. Push and hold, and you're going to click until down here, which I don't know if you can see, until this flame here gets lit. I always recommend the easiest way to light your stove, instead of using the igniter, pilot, push, hold it with a barbecue lighter. It's probably the quickest way to get it to light, especially off the first time you go to use it. When it's in operation, if you want to keep the pilot light lit, just turn it back to pilot light. It will stay lit at all times. If you're done with it, just click it to the off position. It'll shut the flame off of your pilot light, and away it goes. More storage, garbage cans, cover the drawers. Onto the fridge. Now the fridge, all your functions are right here on your fridge. Nice and spacious. Turn it on, you're going to hit your power button. Now you'll notice here there's 3 sets of symbols. This one here is your auto selector, which is, in my opinion, the optimal for any fridges. That way what it's going to do is it's going to look for 120 power. If it's got your 120 power, it's going to run your fridge on power. If something happens and you lose your power, it'll automatically switch over to propane, keep everything cool. Once you get power again, it'll go back to electric. If you're in a spot where you want to, use some power management, or you just want to run it on one or the other, you can hit your little selector button here. And as you can see, I'll switch. So right now the fridge is only ever going to look for electric. If it doesn't find your 120 power, your fridge will not cool down. If you put it to here, that sets it to gas, so it's only going to ever run on propane. And then back to your auto setting. This button here, just your temperature control, 9 being the coldest, 1 being the not so cold. Usually between 4 and 5 is the average setting on it, but however cold you like your beers and stuff, that's what you want to set it to. And that comes down to your personal preference at that time. Inside here is all your manuals for everything that we had with this trailer. Manuals, so on and so forth. Back in the fridge here. And of course, when your fridge is not in use, you just want to turn the power off, and it's good to go. Inside here, pantry, lots of storage inside that also. Your cold air return for your furnace. Down here in this compartment is your breaker box and fuse panel. So just like at home, anything that runs on 120 power will have a breaker, just like in your house. If one gets tripped, you're just going to click it off, back on to reset it, just like you would at home. Anything that runs off your 12-volt system or your battery power, all got fuses. They're labeled. And the good thing about this is if one of these fuses were to blow, there's a little red light that'll glow beside the fuse that is blowing. So if you open up your door and you see a little red light through this glass, you know you've got a blown fuse. The only other thing to go through here is you got your smoke alarm. It does run off of a 9-volt battery, so do change that regularly. If I remember right, down here is your carbon monoxide propane gas detector. This here is wired into the trailer. So unlike your smoke detector that runs off its own battery, this is connected to the trailer. So the moment you put power to this, that is active. So if it's, you plug it in after a few minutes and it starts chirping at you, I do not recommend going in just in case there's a carbon monoxide or a propane gas leak on it. Till at least it either shuts off or you've had someone come out and check just to be on the safe side. I think that pretty much covers the tour of the inside of your trailer. Congratulations, and I hope you enjoy it.